Bob Marley? But that's not the name of the movie, right? What's the name of the movie?
It's actually Bob Marley, One Love.
Okay, so I got it right. Good job. I guess they didn't have to think too hard about what to name their upcoming movie. Welcome back to Good Things. We are streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm. It's Friday, so we got Tanya back in the house to talk movies. So, have you seen that one? It's getting rave reviews.
Yes, it's really gotten a lot of positive attention. And it was released Valentine's Day along with Madam Web. And Bob Marley came out on top, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend. But yeah, so this is the story of him, and it focuses really on the period of time, like in the 70s, where he was doing the big peace concert in his hometown, because there was a lot of violence going on. There was a lot of politically charged tension. And
nothing we would know about.
No. Lots of violence, which ultimately kind of forced him out of his own country. He went to London, where he recorded an album that I believe is known as like probably his best, called Exodus. But anyway, so yeah, it's one of those movies. I liked it. I think it's definitely worth seeing. I would not consider myself a Bob Marley fan. I wouldn't consider myself not a fan. Of course, how can you not like his music? It's all so positive and relaxing and makes you feel like you're sitting on a beach.
Or you want to be.
Not. Yeah. But this is one of those that doesn't get really deep in the weeds, but his story is told. You know, it starts off during that period, but then his whole kind of life story is told through a series of flashbacks. But the guy that plays him in this movie does a great job. We've seen him before in One Night in Miami. He played, I think, Malcolm X, if I remember correctly. But great British actor. And the actress that plays his wife, we know her from Captain Marvel. And she also is fantastic. Although she's not a huge part of the movie, but she's a very important part.
Didn't his son have something to do with it?
Yeah, his son was very instrumental behind the scenes in getting this movie cast. I think he had final approval on the casting and gave it his blessing. The movie actually starts off with an introduction from him. So he's definitely, put his weight behind it. So yeah, I definitely think it's interesting because he's one of those guys that's always been kind of mysterious to me. He died when I was very young, but he's one of those that I've always thought of in the same terms as like a Marilyn Monroe or James Dean, one that died too young and will forever be young, because of his short life. And he died of skin cancer. I didn't know that. I really couldn't remember.
I don't think I realized that either.
Yeah, so it's really tragic, something that would have been preventable had he gotten medical attention, but he just didn't realize.
Kind of like with Chadwick Boseman with his colon cancer.
Yeah.
Get your colons checked.
Yeah.
And your skin.
Yes.
Both of them.
If anything looks abnormal, go check it out.
Yeah, there's your PSA for the day.
Yeah. But the other new release this weekend is Madam Web. This one is in the Marvel world, but I hate to say it, but I have no excitement about this movie. I just hate to say that because y'all know I'm a Marvel junkie, but I'm not a huge Dakota Johnson fan. I don't think she's a good actress, and I shouldn't prejudge this movie based on that because this could be the performance of her life. Who knows? But this one is in the same world, sort of, kind of, as Spider-Man, but it's certainly independent. It's got some crossover characters between the two worlds. But she is basically a medic whose mother is afflicted with this disease that involves spiders.
And you lost me there.
Yeah, and
worse than Cabin in the Woods.
After an accident that happens while she and her partner are, tending to an emergency, she falls off of a bridge in a car, and I guess the trauma of that awakens this power she has where she can see the future. And she realizes because she can see what's coming, she also can alter it. So that's kind of the gist of it. But
spiders can do that?
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so that's the two big ones this weekend. Argyle's still out there. One that I missed while I was out is Lisa Frankenstein, which I think is probably maybe geared more towards teens. I have not seen it yet. And then The Chosen, we talked about the TV series has released season 4, 3 episodes, 1 through 3, starting off the new season. And it is doing really well. So if you're a fan of that, go check it out. And Wonka is still hanging in there in the top 10. So if you haven't seen it, go see it because it probably won't be in theaters too much longer. And it's one of those that really needs to be seen on the big screen.
You don't regret it once you see it streaming. You'll be like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done it. You still have time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then Mean Girls is rounding out the top 10.
Is it doing good?
It started off so strong, but it's only made about right under 70 million, which isn't bad, but I was thinking that it would be more of like 100 and, well over 100,000.
You think it's because it's a musical?
Million. Maybe. I don't know. And it may be just the time of year that it was released. There's just so much competition this time of year with, Grammys were last weekend and Super Bowl last weekend, Grammys the weekend before that. So just a lot of, fighting for.
Is the color purple still out?
It is. And so I still encourage everybody to see it if you haven't.
And Dune's coming up, right?
Yes, Dune is
starting
the
to
next.
See them actually. It's interesting. When we went through the strike, you talked about they're not getting to promote it, and I don't pay attention as much. But now that the strike is over, I'm like, well, them fools are all out here promoting everything everywhere. So,
and it seems like they're supersizing the promos. I think maybe they saved their money up during the strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one's coming March 1st. I believe next weekend they're doing a re-release of the first one
in theater.
Yes. So if you missed it or would like to refresh your memory.
I need to re-see it, and I didn't see it in theater. So
yeah, well, it's definitely one you want to see in the big theater. The Sandworm alone is worth it. But so that's exciting. The big, Super Bowl had several trailers. The biggest in my world was Wicked. It's coming out later this year, and I kept hearing buzz and this and that, and I'm not a huge Ariana Grande fan, but after seeing the trailer, I'm really pumped. I think the casting looks really amazing. So anyway, I just can't wait. That's going to be good. And I guess other than Dune, we've got Kung Fu Panda 4, which those are always good. So that'll be a big one for families to go see. And then Ghostbusters, the Frozen Empire, the next one, is coming out later in March, about the 22nd. So a lot of really good things coming.
And Beetlejuice.
Yes, Beetlejuice is later this year, too.
I feel like me and Rhino are just going to take a sick day here from Good Things and go watch Beetlejuice together as much as we both feel like I don't know why. It's one of I obviously didn't watch it in theaters the first go around. I don't think we were in existence. Did it come out in theaters? It would have had to come out in theaters.
Oh, yeah, it came out in theaters.
It came out in theaters. But, we only know it from the TNT work, like the, TBS, TNT, kind of catch it on a weekend sort of movie. So it'd be interesting to see it. I hope maybe they will re-release the original.
I bet they will because it's been so long.
But it's not, September. So you would think it would be more of a October. But it's really not a scary movie, so I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And so many people that's one of those that has its own cult following, So I think it's going to do very well.
Mentioning the Marvel, and it may not have been Marvel World, but the Beetle. It was here recently. Blue Beetle. Did it do? Yeah. Did it ever do what it needed to do? I hadn't seen it yet. I'm waiting for it to stream. I wasn't going to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think it ever wasn't. I don't think it was considered a huge success as far as the numbers. But I thought it was a fun.
So you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was really good.
That's from the DC universe.
So that's okay. Yeah, they're all the different.
Yeah.
Sort of universes and sort of all the things.
And according to Wikipedia, it made back its budget.
Oh,
so it made $130 million in the box office, and the budget was about $125 million.
The Beetle. Which Beetle?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Blue Beetle or Beetlejuice, but either one.
Yeah. Well, and they didn't. I mean, they had a great cast, but it's not big names, so that probably is how they kept the budget down.
Lots to think about. All right, thank you, Tanya. You guys stick with us. We got more.